All right, this is my Apollo Ghost. I just got it repaired after sitting for about 6 months. So I put 740 miles on it in 6 months. It'd probably be double that if it hadn't sat for so long. What happened was the down tube lower bearing right here went out, and it took a long time to get it from China. So I pulled it all apart, and it just sat in pieces for a long time. But I thought I'd show you guys some stuff that I've done with it. It's a really good scooter. It's got a lot of torque. But I replaced the front caliper with a mountain bike caliper. Really nice caliper, made in Taiwan. It's a big step over anything made in China. It has these little adjuster knobs, so I can actually adjust the pads without having to disconnect the cables. I'm gonna have to do something about all this fraying down here. I did put stainless steel caps over the charging ports, just more secure. Like the rubber ones wore out really fast. The rear brake is completely factory. I mean, I don't really use it that much. It doesn't really do much, so you know, it's in good shape, and I maintain this thing really well. And then I put the super clamp on it. That really helps with the stem wobble. I got that part from Apollo. This caliper I just got at my local bike shop. Up here I put on my little, it's actually a Nalgene bottle holder, but I secured it on there. It's just ballistic nylon, and it works pretty well for just throwing in like a bike lock and a spare tire tube and some Allen wrenches and, you know, just a few little odds and ends. I just put these on today. The factory grips are fine, but they were just starting to wear out and they were looking kind of gnarly. So I got these beautiful Ergon grips. These are wonderful. I use these on my bicycle. And let's see, I got this. This is an old Phoenix. I think it's a BC30. Yeah, BC30. It uses 2 rechargeable 18650s, which is nice. And then I just got done putting on this Surface rear view mirror. It's kind of nice to have, and I'm thinking about getting another one to put on the other side too. I don't know if I really need 2. I'm just gonna see how the one works out and then do that. The longest ride I've done on this is like 25, 26 miles, and I ride really slow. I usually keep it in 2 motors and economy mode because I don't really like to go much faster than 15. If I'm in a bike lane and I want to pass somebody, I might hit 20, or if I'm in the road, I might hit 25 here or there, but I like to cruise at 15 because I don't wear a lot of safety gear. I basically use this like a bicycle replacement. So for me, it works great. And I'll wear like a tail light, a flashing tail light on my backpack or on my back, so I have extra rearward visibility. So yeah, that's the Apollo Ghost. I'm 250 pounds, about 6'2", and this thing here in Seattle has no problem getting me up very, very steep hills. I took this up a 20% grade, and it got me up it. I couldn't believe it, but it did it. It got me up, and it was only going about 4 miles an hour at the top, and I did not get a running start. I started at the bottom of the hill. I guess I did get a little bit of a running start, maybe like a 20-foot running start, because there's a 4-way stop at the bottom of the hill. So I got to the stop sign, I stopped fully and completely, and then just went as hard as I could, and it was only going 4 at the top. And that was with about half a battery, so it wasn't even fully charged. If you were down toward the lower end of the spectrum on the battery, you know, it might not have pulled it, but it did it. It did it with me, tall and fat, so... Yeah, Apollo Ghost. It's a really good little scooter, really sturdy, very well made, and you know, it's not the slickest looking or the most techno of the newer scooters. Apollo makes great scooters, and the Phantom it looks really, really cool. But you know, for me, this is working. Anyway, I thought I'd put up a quick thing about the Apollo Ghost. And here's to many, many more trouble-free miles. I guess I'll tell you what I've done maintenance-wise so far. Just the brakes. You know, I check and adjust the brakes a lot because I go downhill a lot, so I have to use them quite a bit. And that's one of the things about this upgraded front caliper is that it has sintered metal brake pads. So that adds a little durability. I think it's probably really hard on the rotor. So there's a good chance I'll change to a different kind of rotor that might be a little more durable and can handle that. And then in the rear, I have no intention of messing with the rear. It's not that important. This also has electronic braking, and I use that on the strongest setting. So that really spares the wear and tear on that. And then I told you about the lower bearing on the down tube, or the front tube. So let's see, what else have I done? The caps, because the originals wore out, so those stainless caps went on. I had a tube go out, no big deal. I mean, that has nothing to do with the build quality of the scooter. So I just bought like the cheapest tubes on Amazon I could find. I think they're for like $1 or something. Working just fine, no problem. And these are still the factory tires, so that's 750 miles worth of wear on them. And they do great in the rain. They do great on rough terrain, loose terrain like gravel. They actually do surprisingly well on gravel. And all the buttons and switches work. I might start screwing around with some of that though. Like I was thinking about eliminating this just because it's a complication and it's really not hard to bypass it. So I thought about just eliminating this altogether, getting more space over here, making it look cleaner. And I can just come over here and just turn this on. But yeah, anyway, there you go. Apollo Ghost, low maintenance, easy to work on, cool scooter.